I don't know how many of you have been following the Dr. Disrespect story, but it's pretty interesting. Obviously, people have their opinions on whether or not he should have been having any kind of conversations with people that he shouldn't have been. I get that. I think people are absolutely, positively entitled to their opinions. That said, now that Dr. Disrespect has returned, all sorts of new information is coming out, and other very large streamers, while admonishing him for his behavior, have seemingly confirmed that there was in fact a conspiracy to get him removed from Twitch, on top of the real cost of this viral witch hunt over some stupid messages that really shouldn't have been sent, now led to 50% of an entire company being laid off, just so some leftoid loser, could get internet clout. We're going to talk about all that after a quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Sheath. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. It's the best. You have to get a pair. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. Look, fellas and ladies, I know the idea of changing your brand for this kind of product is not something you think about often, but I promise it's worth the thought. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. The most comfortable boxer briefs you will ever put on your body. Their stretchy fabric is made out of a moisture wicking technology. They're super soft. They keep everything cool and comfortable right in place. It was a long time before I decided to try and make the change, and I absolutely love the product offering that Sheath has. Sheath is also the official underwear partner of the UFC, which is pretty cool too. Sheath is particularly useful for staying cool during the summer and while working out. The most unique thing about Sheath is that they have these dual pouches that keep your man parts separated, which prevents things from sticking together, keeps them right where they need to be. I was a little skeptical about the dual pouch, but let me tell you, it is in fact a game changer. And by the way, if you're not into that idea, you don't have to use them. Some days I do, some days I don't. They'll be the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life. Plus, they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling. Go to sheath.com to get the most comfortable underwear you've ever worn and use promo code THEQUARTERING, that's one word, and you'll get 20% off your order. That's sheath.com, promo code THEQUARTERING for 20% off your order. Now, let's start with, look, again, you can have your opinions about Dr. Disrespect. I don't think he should have been messaging anybody in this manner, and I think he knows that now too, and he would agree with that. It was a mistake he made nearly 10 years ago, and I believe that people are capable of redemption. He acknowledged the mistake. The person that he was talking to never acknowledged that they were uncomfortable, never came for him, never outed him, never shared the messages, never claimed they were the victim of anything. The only reason anybody even knows about this is because some loser former Twitch employee wanted internet clout. Now, I would ask you, was it worth it? Dr. Disrespect returned to 250,000 live streamers. The company that fired him over these messages, which they had every right to do, has now collapsed. His game that was in development, Dead Drop, has now collapsed. Massive layoffs just so some internet blue hair could get some internet clout by sharing. This was over with, right? Everyone already knew there was something weird that went on when he got fired. People left. But because some dork who has achieved nothing in their life wanted some internet clout, they decided to leak non-specifics, We found out now that the person involved in this never wanted to report it, didn't feel like it was inappropriate, essentially got bullied into it by an overzealous Twitch mod. Nobody has come out to deny that. And now the company that quickly virtue signaled to fire Dr. Disrespect after those messages has collapsed. Unfortunately, as many of you know, we have faced multiple unexpected challenges in recent months to adapt to these changes and secure the future of Midnight Society's Dead Drop. And our commitment to providing innovative gaming experiences, we've made the tough decision to, quote, streamline our operations, which includes a significant workforce reduction. So Dr. Disrespect shares some inappropriate jokes, which were sent by his words out of context to an on-vacation community manager. They were fired, and now 50% of these people have been fired. Could have just been some gamer talk. Could have been some dumb jokes. We don't know. We'll never know. Okay? But some leftoid who had it in for Dr. Disrespect drudged it up after 7 years. Think about that. After all the reporting, have we ever seen a shred of these quote-unquote messages? Now, Doc himself admits that they were inappropriate, but I don't know what that even means. First of all, he shouldn't have been messaging anyone who is too young. But in his return stream, he seemed to allude to the fact that they were at least of the legal age of consent. Now, I'm not dying on that hill. I'm not going to do the, well, 17's legal in some states argument, but it is, okay? Should a 30-something be having these conversations with a 17-year-old? No. But he seemed to confirm it wasn't like it was someone who was 12 or 13. He also seemed to confirm that these were messages that were never reported by that individual. That individual never felt uncomfortable. Allegedly, they were not, the big claim was that Doc was planning on meeting up with this person. That turned out to be a lie. He never intended to meet up with this person. He never said he was going to meet up with this person. He never met up with them at all. We don't even know if he knew at the time how old they were. Okay? Legal is legal. He broke no laws. The messages were sent to law enforcement. They did nothing. Twitch allows much worse on their platform, which he brought up and brought back, let people know. It's not like he was meeting up with these people. You can choose to tune out. That's obviously fine. But now you have, now you have people like Nickmercs who are getting stuck in it. I don't think that it's Nickmercs' fault for disavowing Doc. He's allowed to do that. Now, I think that Nickmercs was probably only going off the media reporting. But I think for a lot of people, when you say, hey, you shouldn't be messaging people like that, period, full stop, I 100% understand that. I respect that. That's fine. This is what he had to say.
And my Instagram DMs and YouTube comments saying, Nick, you're a terrible friend. You should have stuck by this guy when he needed you. You, Tim, Z-Laner, you guys made a huge mistake. You should have waited for the facts. You should have called him and talked to him. Look, we had a short, quick conversation. He sent a text to the boys and I, and he apologized for us ever being dragged into this. And it pretty much ended right there. That same day, he had put out his tweet. And in that tweet, he had admitted to sending inappropriate texts or whatever to a minor. Those were his words. Not mine, not Tim's, not whoever. Now, he later deleted this tweet. Personally, I don't think it changes much. And
He's right. It doesn't. I'm not here to say that what Dr. Disrespect did was good or bad. But there was no reason that Nickmercs and everyone associated with him needed to come out and make these wild statements. I understand why they felt compelled to. There really were no facts that came out other than what some disgruntled ex-Twitch employee, disgruntled ex-Twitch employee said. But Nickmercs also is convinced that Twitch did in fact plot against this Dr. Disrespect and urged him to reveal the DMs. Well, if they did, I would agree with that. Even if the DMs are, let's say, embarrassing, if they aren't like, let's meet up and, ooh, I like it that you're that young. If it's not anything that's like way over the top, he should probably just put them out there.
I understand that he feels the need to defend himself. I know a lot of people are coming at him. And I know his premise and what he's dying on is that what he did was not illegal. And look, I get that. But at the end of the day, you messaged a minor and it was inappropriate. For me, this is not about legality. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, man. I don't want to talk too much shit about this guy. I give it as good as I get it. A lot of people were coming at me yesterday on Twitter, so I called him a bad word. But I want to be honest, man. Him doing what he did, I think he was being that. Late 30s, you got a kid, a wife, and you're doing stuff like that, man. My morals, my understanding of the situation is I firmly believe that he was wrong. I don't care if he didn't break any laws. I don't care if a judge found him guilty or not. He admitted to it. We know enough that there was at least a conversation going on. We also know that he admitted to cheating on his wife. You can put two and two together. Now, as far as the Twitch ban, listen, there's a lot of people there that don't make great decisions. I also have no doubt in my mind there were people at Twitch that were plotting against Doc. No doubt. And we've seen so many things at Twitch, crazy things that have gone unpunished. All the hot tub, bikini streams, people using slurs, etc., etc. But all that said, Twitch is a private company that can...
Again, I don't disagree with anything Nickmercs says. I think that there are people that can say, look, the deal is the deal. I also think that whatever the messages may have been were almost certainly displayed in the worst possible light. We know, based on lawsuit discovery apparently, that they were sent out of contact to somebody who was on vacation even after Twitch did an internal investigation and found no wrongdoing. Twitch did an internal investigation and found no wrongdoing, okay? And still, this disgruntled Twitch employee did an end around and escalated it anyway. All right. So I think Nick is 100% fine to want to disassociate with him. If I had a 30-something-year-old friend that was doing this, I would call him a dum-dum. I would not call him the P word. That's not what he was doing. That's not who he is. Everybody on the left who's using that word, all they're doing is desensitizing that word in and of itself. Minimizing that word. It's not like he was going, around, schools or anything like that. He exchanged what could have just basically been inappropriate jokes with somebody who, quite frankly, was of legal age. So at worst, Doc, cheated on his wife. By the way, I do think exchanging messages of this manner with somebody else, with another female or male, really, is a form of cheating. I don't think it makes you like a great man, but certainly I don't think YouTube should have demonetized for it. YouTube should not have demonetized for him for it. Now he's going to reapply on September 25th. I give it less than a 1% chance of YouTube remonetizing him. I hope they do. And if they don't, I hope he goes to Rumble. That's what I hope. And I hope he takes his loyal fans, 50, 75, 100,000 normal live stream tune-ins, Hope he brings them to Rumble. That's what I would love. Or at least go multi-stream, right? So, I mean, the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, Twitch absolutely colluded against him. The messages were absolutely taken out of context. But also the messages should never have been sent in the first place. That said, I don't think it's worthy of the demonetization. I also don't think it's worthy of being banned from Twitch. I believe people inside Twitch set up a hit job. And the fact that he got paid out for his contract proves it. That's just my opinion. Twitch is a scumbag company that wasn't making money then, isn't making money now, and had a big amount of money due to Doc, so they were willing to believe anything they could. Doc is not a leftist, and so they allowed him to be railroaded. At least that's my opinion. I'll be interested in seeing what all your comments are on the situation going forward.